Arsenal can't seem to catch a break at the minute. There's new news coming out that massively impacts Arsenal. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that and, of course, on so many other things as well. Before we get into it, I just want to ask you one very quick favour. If you could, please just hit like on this video. So we're going to get into the big news, but before we do, I haven't had a chance to speak to you guys about the Aston Villa game. So quickly before I get into it, just let me know your thoughts on the game in general, how it planned out, but also a massive talking point after that game seems to be this Kai Havertz handball. I just want to know your guys' thoughts on it. Of course, I will give you mine, but just let me know, was it handball, was it not handball in the comment section. Look, William Saliba's injured. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. William Saliba has a hamstring injury. Terrible news. It doesn't help Arsenal at all. In a season, it seems to be massively dictated by injuries. People don't like to hear that, but the fact Arsenal have had so many injuries this season has negatively impacted us. Now, there is arguments out there of people saying, well, we've spent 700 million. Why are we still having these? Why are we still so bare? Like, an argument people like to put forward is, Arteta keeps spending so much money on this defence. This defence is strong. Like, why do we keep buying defenders? And I will just say to you, our defence still ain't strong enough. We're still having to play a central midfielder at right back because we lack the defensive options due to the fact we now have injuries. So it's not good. Like, we do still need to spend more money. People don't like to hear that. People like to say we've spent 700 million. This team should be complete, but it doesn't work like that. And I've said in previous videos, yes, it's a lot of money. Mikel Arteta and the board have also brought in some players that probably wasn't good enough, but you can't, from where this team was, you can't spend 700 million and expect to replace every single player that's not good enough on the bench and on the first team. It's a journey. Again, people don't like to hear it, but we're getting closer to where we need to be. But this is just proof that we do still need to bring in some more players. Yes, we need attackers. We need midfielders with Zubimendi coming in, and we still do need defenders probably. Like, what happened in that game, maybe Mikel Arteta could have made a different choice. We're going to speak about that in a minute. But at the minute, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on the Saliba injury. It's looking like I've read some reports saying 2 weeks. Now, I've never known a hamstring injury to leave someone out for 2 weeks. You know what it's like with a hamstring. It's usually 1 month, 2 months. I've never known of a 2-week hamstring injury. The next 3 games, William Saliba can, we can probably have him not in the team and not affect us too much because we got the 2 Champions League games against opposition that isn't at the top level. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's just the reality. And then we've got Wolves. But after that, you're playing Man City. We need William Saliba back for Man City because I don't like seeing this makeshift defence that we keep having to deploy against these teams and then we're dropping points. Like, I don't know, let me know your guys' thoughts on Saliba. I want to speak about the Aston Villa game very quickly. Like I said, let me know your guys' thoughts on it. The back line in that, I didn't like the back line, but it's very... because what else do you do? Like, we know the stats are out there. When we've played Thomas Partey at right back, we've played him 6 times. We've won only 1 of them games. Now, I'm not blaming just Thomas Partey. It's the way that it affects the whole team shape and structure of the squad. What other options are there? You've obviously got a lot of people calling for Kivior, but is that the option we need to go for? Because it wasn't, what was it, a month or 2 ago that Kivior put on a couple of performances where people were saying they never want to see him play for Arsenal again. So you can't 1 month ago say Kivior's not good enough, get him out of this squad, and then a month later when we drop more points saying, well, Kivior should have played that game. I'm seeing so many people with that opinion who a month ago said he's not good enough, but are now saying we should have played him at centre-back. So it is a difficult choice for Mikel Arteta to make, and we just need to get on with it. Like, I don't know what the answer is. I'm not a coach. Like, I can't tell you what the answer... Everyone's got their opinions. Of course they have. Like, if you play Kivior, he's going to be playing at right centre-back, which, again, isn't a natural position for him. The only benefit is that he's actually a centre-back, so he will have that experience, whereas Thomas Partey is not a natural right-back. He probably was partly at fault for one of the goals. But there was, like, you can't go 2-0 up against Aston Villa and drop those points. Now, there's actually some positives and negatives that I want to speak about. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail about the whole game because it was 2 days ago. I couldn't make the video yesterday, so I just still want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But I think there are some clear positives and clear negatives that I want to speak about. Look, the first one is Trossard's form. We haven't seen the form that Trossard showed last season come into this season yet. And that was the first game that I can look at Trossard and say, if you carry that form forward, you can be a very impactful player for Arsenal. That was the first glimpse of Trossard from last season that I've actually seen in this season. So I just hope Trossard can carry that form forward. And to be fair, there was other players. Lewis Skelly, again, he keeps impressing me. Wasn't totally at fault for really any of the goals. He needed help in some areas, of course, but Lewis Skelly, I take as a positive. A Havertz goal. People don't like to hear it. People hate that we've got Kai Havertz as our striker, but like, he is effective. He's our top scorer. He's got, 13 goals now. Yes, we do need a striker. We're going to speak about that in tomorrow's video because there's so many rumours and there are some validity in some of the rumours. So I definitely want to get your guys' thoughts on that. So make sure you look out for tomorrow's video. But in terms of the whole attack yesterday, I don't think any player was terrible. Like Martinelli was okay. Havertz was okay. Trossard was good. So that, I think, is an improvement that we're seeing from recent weeks where maybe that attack was looking so weak, so not very dangerous in those attacking senses. And I thought we saw glimpses a couple of days ago that they maybe going forward can show or can produce a few outcomes for Arsenal. So that was good to see. And again, the final positive I took is just Gabriel. Like, just how good is Gabriel? Like, he's definitely so underrated. Like, people are now starting to see how good he is in terms of a goal scoring threat. But we've known this for a couple of seasons. And now people are starting to say, oh, he's not only good offensively, he's actually really good defensively. And Arsenal fans have seen this for about 2-3 seasons. We know he's one of the best defenders in the world. We know he's massively underrated. And it still confuses me that people, even in the Arsenal fan base, are not totally convinced of Gabriel. Because for me, like I said, I wouldn't swap Gabriel or Saliba for any centre-back in the world. And people will be shocked at that, but I think they are brilliant together. Like I said, the negatives. I think the main one is that you have to look at is the fact that you can't be 2-0 up at home and then go on to draw the game. People will say this is so unlike the Arsenal defence. And my answer to that would be, well, it's unlike the Arsenal defence because yesterday or 2 days ago, that wasn't the Arsenal defence. We didn't have Saliba. We didn't have Ben White. That wasn't our strongest back line. So in any other circumstance, that probably doesn't happen. Arsenal don't go 2-0 up at home and then end up drawing the game. It just wouldn't happen if we have our best players available. So again, I circle round to the fact that this team is suffering due to injuries. It's an uncomfortable conversation. No one likes to admit that the injuries are causing us so much pain this season, but that is the reality that I see it. And I'm not just blaming the injuries because, like I said, there are decisions Arteta can make. There are improvements these players should be making, but it's clear to me, and I think it should be clear to anyone, that injuries are having a massive impact on this season. You can take Salah and Van Dijk out of Liverpool, they're going to start dropping points. You take Rodri and Haaland, like, they're going to start dropping points. It's the reality Arsenal are faced with. Are Arsenal still in this title race? I can't look at this team or look at this table right now and confidently look at you guys in the eye and say Arsenal are still in this title race. I can't say we're out of it because my mentality would always be, if there's a chance, then we're still in it. But I would be looking at more, like, at the minute, it's like, just stay in the top 4. Try and get second place. Is that defeatist? Not really. I'm just trying to be real with you guys and say, I can't see us winning the league this season right now. Things can change in 2 months. We've seen in just 2 weeks how things can change massively in a title race. So never say never. But at this exact moment now, I can't say Arsenal are in a title race. Is that depressing? Yes. Would I like it to change? Yes. Do I still hold hope that it will change? Yeah, of course I do. But I can't realistically sit here at this moment in time and say Arsenal are still going to win the league. Don't worry about it. Arsenal are still going to catch Liverpool. Because the way Arsenal are playing, they don't seem to be in a position to keep building this momentum. It's like we play well and it seems like we're over the hump. And then you play another good game and you think, right, Arsenal are back, and then they drop points. And all of a sudden you're back to square one. And it's like, when will this Arsenal team start to really gather some momentum and put a string of games together that you're looking at and thinking, this is convincing. Now I'm convinced that Arsenal can go on a run. I haven't seen it yet. So that's why I'm not confident that Arsenal can win the league yet. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, like I said, do me a quick favour if you could. Just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.